Hello folks, and welcome back for yet another build video. So as the title could tell you, this one is focused on getting the maximum possible headshot damage that you possibly can. And what I mean by that is not the stat that you can see there, headshot damage. It is what is the maximum damage output. At the end of the day, what's the number that you can get? I challenge you to see what you can get, what I can get, without investing a ton of time into farming expertise, which, as you all know, has its ups and downs. It was 58 million per headshot. So that number relies on three main pieces. That's your Nemesis Marksman rifle, your Chain Killer chest piece, and your Sawyer's knee pads. That last one might surprise people, but I will get into it. But off the top, let's start. Your specialization is Sharpshooter, mainly for the increased Marksman rifle damage. But I will say the ammo regeneration is not a bad perk either. So your primary weapon, I mentioned it before, is going to be the Nemesis Marksman rifle. That's for one main reason, that its total damage is higher than any other Marksman rifle in the game. For a secondary, I personally have Baker's Dozen on here. I like it as a sniper secondary weapon. You're going to be in cover, so that perfect lucky shot really comes in handy. But honestly, this is where you can definitely go with some variation, get another piece on there if you want. For our sidearm, we've got the D50, hits nice and hard. Secondary attribute happens to be headshot damage there. And then we've got preservation rolled onto this, try and get you a little armor back when you need it. For our mask, we have our first of three pieces of aces and eights. We also have a core attribute of weapon damage, as well as secondary attribute of headshot damage, and a mod of headshot damage. I don't think any of those will surprise anyone on a maximum headshot build. For our backpack, we have a Raldi Holdings. That is pretty crucial. You're gonna want a Raldi Holdings specifically for that plus 10% marksman rifle damage. Part of the point of this build is to get that base marksman rifle damage as high as possible, so that when you apply multipliers to it, it's starting out at a higher number. We also have headshot damage in both the attribute slot and mod slot. For your second attribute, I happen to have health here. I would probably go with armor regen if I had my pick, but as you can see, I had to roll headshot damage onto this piece. That's something you may also find yourself doing. To be honest, that third attribute slot is far less crucial here on this build than it is in other builds on the channel. We have concussion as the talent, where headshots increase total weapon damage by 10%, and headshot kills increase total weapon damage by an additional 15%. So that's some really good cohesiveness with Chain Killer, where you're already looking for headshot kills. One alternative you could go with here is Vigilance. If you have an Araldi backpack with Vigilance on it, Vigilance also increases total weapon damage by 25%. It's just based on whether or not you've taken damage. But I just wanted to point that out. Both Concussion and Vigilance will get you an increase of 25% total weapon damage. It just depends how you want to do it. For our chest piece, we have Chain Killer. Plus 5% weapon damage isn't bad. Neither is the headshot damage or armor regen, but the main focus here is Perfect Headhunter, where after killing an enemy with a headshot, your next weapon hit is increased in damage. And also, somewhat crucially there, our damage is capped at 1,250% because we do have headshot damage greater than 150. And just as a side note, that 150% headshot damage is not hard to get to. On this build in particular, I think we're right around 300%. So really just think of this as your damage is capped at 1,250%. Now, for our gloves, we have our second piece of aces and eights. That gets us plus 15% marksman rifle damage. And then our core attribute, we have weapon damage and then headshot damage. And then on the holster, we have our third piece, giving us the plus 30% headshot damage. So last but certainly not least, we have Sawyer's knee pads, which I think will surprise some people here. But on a sniper build where you're going for maximum possible damage, the stand your ground talent is actually what's going to get you the highest possible damage. And again, what that comes down to is what I kind of mentioned before. It's about increasing your base weapon damage as high as it possibly can be, so when you apply the multipliers, you're starting at a higher base. So for those of you unfamiliar, stand your ground increases your total weapon damage by 3% each second you're not moving, up to a stack max of 10, and that stacks up to 10 times. So for those of you following at home, that's additional 30% weapon damage. And that's what allows us to hit nearly 60 million in headshot damage. For our skills here, we have the Reviver Hive and the Shock Trap. You could absolutely go with something different here if you have other sniper-focused skills. The decoy is a wonderful skill to use with a sniper. The other options, you could definitely go with the scanner pulse or the new Achilles pulse to identify weak points. Really, that part is totally up to you. Another note I will make is this is definitely a very good build for team play where you can hang back and provide overwatch. As a solo build, it definitely has its drawbacks. As a sniper support build, it really comes into its own. So go out, give this one a try. Let me know what you think in the comments. As always, please like and subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this, and we will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Alright, so welcome to the range here. We're just going to set this one up. So for those of you who are unaware, Headhunter builds on every consecutive and headshot kill that you do. So as you can see there, the number is going up. It's flashing on screen. And once we have it maxed out, what we can do here is just apply that. What you saw there was actually a 59 million headshot. There you go, 57.9. That was a little off center. But again, just over and over you can apply these max headshots.
Detected. Nearby location guarded by hostiles.